What is going on, everybody? We are talking Matlock Season 5. Jason, I'm joined by John. John, now if you could please handle getting us 2 clean glasses of coffee, I would greatly appreciate it, because the last one had a thumbprint on the side of it that I was not okay with. Neither were my associates. So if you could just get that done, and then while you're at it, you can go ahead and scratch your back against the wall as somebody tries to flirt with you that you don't notice, everybody. This episode of Matlock, can't wait to talk about it. It's super, super exciting. It's called The Mother. It's the first episode of Season 5. I just got done watching Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I'm a little bit on a high. So, John, how are you?
I'm doing well, but first of all, you're on a natural high, correct?
I am on, of course. Absolutely. That's the only one to be on, guys.
It's the only drug you need. You just need great Ghostbuster action. That's the only drug you need, man.
It has been a long week in my personal life, but I'm just glad that I can take an hour to be with you. And we went to Indiana yesterday, man, and that was a fun panel. And we had a line. People waiting for us to get into the panel. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say how many people were in the line, but we had a line, and it was fantastic.
You know what? That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. You took the very first note I have down here, and I can cross it off. It says, ask about Indiana. So Indiana was good then.
It was, man. It was really good. It was a lot of fun. I think we all needed that little getaway. But it was fun. I got to spend some time with the girlfriend. We went out the night before. We stayed in a hotel. You'd have been proud of me, John. $80 for a 3.5-star hotel. Dude, all the other hotels there were like $400 or $500. So when all the way up to the point when we got to our room, I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. There was no other shoe. It was fantastic.
What was the hotel?
It was not Crown Royal, something Crown. Something Crown.
Crown Point?
Crown Plaza, maybe. Okay.
I hope it was Crown Royal. That would be awesome. Like the giant, the outside of the hotel looks like a giant purple velvet bag. That's
what I kept calling it. I'm like, that's not right. That's the alcohol. Like, what am I thinking of?
So was this, where was this convention at? Was it in the convention center, or was it out at one of the hotels, like out by the airport?
The convention center. You went to one of these with us. That was one of the first times you and I asked a waitress if she had heard of Matlock. Was that convention?
Indiana? No, that was at Pittsburgh.
Was that Pittsburgh? You never went to Indiana with us?
I've never gone to Indianapolis with you guys.
Wow, then the restaurant I pointed to my girlfriend and said, that's a good place. We went there with John. I apparently never went there with John. So see, these convention centers, after a while, they all start to look the same. I mean, what can you do?
Okay, Justin bailed me out. Nope, I was there and it was Indiana. That's what he says in his note. Yes, I believe that you were correct. Justin said, I thought you had a wrestling thing. That's probably I was booked at a wrestling show, of course, probably. That's where I am half the time in my life. But anyways, well, that's great, man, that you guys had a great showing out there. Did you pick up anything cool at the Comic-Con?
I bought a tie.
Wait, what?
I bought a Star Trek tie. I'm going to a wedding on Star Wars Day, so I thought, what better way to celebrate Star Wars Day than to get a Star Trek tie? That's all I got, man. I went to Comic-Con with a list of things to buy. As an adult, when you go to the Comic-Con, as much as you want to buy all this stuff, you start to think of the other things you can use your money on, like groceries or bills or all that other fun stuff. And you're like, I can't do it. Even though I worked my ass off and I got everything so far ahead that I could splurge this weekend, I didn't, and it felt kind of good.
Okay, all right. Well, since we're sharing what's been going on with us here recently, I had a first last night. I had a first.
Congratulations, John! You finally met that special lady.
Well, first of all, you already know that special lady, but she took me to my first ever country music concert. Tim McGraw. That's right. We went and saw Tim McGraw. And I mean, it was fine. I don't know any of his songs other than I Like It, I Love It. That song I know, but that's the only one I know.
Don't take the girl.
Is that one of them? Yeah. I don't know. Really?
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind some Tim McGraw. He's fine.
Okay. Hey man,
it's not my style of music either, but there's some Tim McGraw songs that I'm cool with.
He's not my cup of tea, but Where the Green Grass Grows, that's one that Justin's talking about. Maybe if I heard it last night and I knew that that's the name of the song, I would have went, oh, yeah. I mean, look, yeah, not my cup of tea, but, my girlfriend has gone to other concerts that she, like Sylvan Esso. She was like, I don't know about this band, but I'll go. Turns out she liked them, but, that's the give and take of a relationship.
It's more fun to take than to give, but I'm just kidding.
Well, you know what? You beat me to the joke. I was going to try to fit in some joke about an alibi with a relationship, but nonetheless, Jason, are you ready to jump on into this, man?
Hold on, John. I mean, guys, I had a huge milestone. So I have a guy that I buy my movies from, Toyologist over on Whatnot. You're welcome for the plug, buddy. But he had Perry Mason, the complete series. It's like a $200 box set. And you guys already know that I have Murder, She Wrote, I have Matlock, I have Columbo. So I was missing the Perry Mason set. I got it for $40. It was a freaking steal. I was so excited. It's sitting in my living room with the other two. And I can't wait to unite it with Matlock as well. And I can have the foursome in my background when we do this show. Very exciting, John. Very exciting. And Ghostbusters Frozen Kingdom, guys, it's a Ghostbusters movie. I don't know what everybody's expecting out of a Ghostbusters movie. If you like Ghostbusters, you like Frozen Kingdom, that's my review. All right. So, yeah, we can jump into it, John.
All right, then let's get into our opening statements. As you mentioned, the episode is entitled The Mother. Its original air date was September 18th, 1990. Small, interesting factoid, by the way. This past Monday, this was the episode on MeTV. So I texted you, Jason, and let you know about that. But as you also mentioned, it's the first episode of season 5. So curious to see if that momentum from season 4 carries on over here. I'm not going to comment one way or the other. And Jason, you look like your lips are sealed, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's talk about some guest stars. Let's talk, first of all, about a young lady by the name of Eileen Barnett. She'll be playing the role of Laura Larson. You may know her from a previous episode of Matlock, the bestseller, which was episode 4, season 4. She played Elizabeth Lyle. This was the romance writer who then was killed by, or was accused of killing a friend's husband. I remember this episode. It was because my biggest thing was I was confusing it because there's the advice columnist one called The Lovelorn, and that is where we're going to find another one of our guest stars. More on that in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Eileen also has played the role of Judith Scott on Knots Landing. She's had a long 148 episodes tenure on Days of Our Lives as Stephanie Woodruff, Elaine Braddock on Who's the Boss, and a ton of other credits to her name.
And here we go. Here's a stretch, but I'm going to make it work. She's also connected to the Matlock reboot because she was on an episode of Harry's Law with Kathy Bates.
You know what? I'll accept that. That's a good connection. That's a good one. Well, let's talk about probably, at least in my humble opinion, the most recognizable of all the guest stars. Shirley Knight.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were going to say.
Oh, no. Shirley Knight as Phyllis Todd. You may know her from her role on Desperate Housewives as Phyllis Van de Kamp. She was Mom in Paul Blart Mall Cop. Niecy in The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. Beverly in As Good as It Gets. Katie Quirk on Spencer for Hire, and over 100 more credits to her name. Who do you think I was going to say, by the way?
Philip Baker Hall, because I recognized him more so than the other.
Oh, he is not on the list. I'm going to let you prepare to tell me and defend why I should have put him on the list. All right. While you do that, I'll run down our last couple. Our next.
I got it. I'm already ready to go, man.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Philip Baker Hall. He is in Modern Family. He's been on Curb Your Enthusiasm, a show called The Loop. He was in The Shaggy Dog with Tim Allen, The Sum of All Fears. This guy has been in like so many things. He's the Larry Hankin of movies. He was also in Seinfeld, Rush Hour. He played the captain, LA Doctors, Matlock, Air Force One, Third
Time
Rock
out.
from the Sun.
Time
Eye
out.
for
What's
an
his name
Eye,
again?
Hardball.
What's his name again?
His name is Philip Baker Hall. He was in an episode of Murder, She Wrote. Ghostbusters 2, he played the police commissioner. And the list just goes on and on and on. This guy's been in everything.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I agree with you. I should have put him on the list. He's got a very lengthy resume. I apologize, Mr. Hall, if you're still with us, that is.
He is still with us.
Okay, good. I apologize, Mr. Hall. My humble apologies.
John knows not what he does, Mr. Hall. It's okay.
What can I say? Guilty as charged. Our next guest star is Beth Toussaint, I believe is how it's pronounced, as Andrea Todd. You may know her as Hope Adam Wilson on The Young and the Restless, a female caller, a voiceover credit in Scream 3, Yashara Yar on Star Trek The Next Generation, Anna Sheridan on Babylon 5, and she also played Linda Hamilton in the Linda Hamilton story.
Okay, so she did play Linda Hamilton, because that's who I thought it was.
No. I made that up. That's me. I'm just joshing. She looks an awful lot like her, though.
I thought that's who that was. I Googled her, and I'm like, I'm surprised you chose her over Philip, because I Googled her, and I'm like, oh, she's not in anything. Like, why does she look so familiar? And then it clicked a little bit later that, oh, she looks like Linda Hamilton.
She looks like a very young Linda Hamilton. Yes, that was a joke, ladies and gentlemen. There's no Linda Hamilton story. I made that up as I was just joshing. Anyways, all right. Our last guest star is James O'Sullivan, who will be playing the role of Frank Larson. Here you go. We know him from a previous episode of Matlock, The Lovelorn, where the advice columnist is murdered. And they had the whole typewriter shtick. That was the final clue. I believe that is from season 2, episode 19.
And what a douche canoe this character was.
Wow, you're bringing out the heavy artillery with your adjectives tonight. You really didn't like this guy.
I did not, man. And this is another one that I can't believe got over Philip. He was on Cop Rock.
Yeah, yes, he was. I want to go back and watch Cop Rock because I want to know if it's as bad as everybody says it is.
I've seen clips, and it's pretty bad, John.
Yeah, well. Anyways, he was also Charles in Children of the Corn 3. That should be right up your alley. It's a horror movie.
And he was in Chachi in Charge.
Yes, he was also the governor on Arliss and a TV newsman in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. All right, Jason, that's all our guest stars. So it's time for me to ask you that question that I have to ask you every.
We should get the Linda Hamilton lookalike. We should absolutely interview her.
Sure, I would absolutely thoroughly enjoy that.
I'll reach out.
Okay, I'll let you work your magic. All right, with that then, Jason, I need you to give me your opinion, solely your opinion, and only your opinion. So help you.
I'm still waiting on the coffee, but I will take the opinion. I'll give my opinion. I mean, I'm not going to take your opinion. I'm going to give mine. Yeah,
don't take mine because you may not like mine and you'll take it and then you'll be stuck with it. There's no trade backs, by the way, if you take my opinion.
I do want to note, guys, and this is not at all a spoiler for how I feel about this episode, but they're all three of them are in the episode.
Yes. That's a big weight lifted off your shoulder, right?
It makes me happy.
It makes you happy.
I mean, maybe it makes me happy. We'll find out.
All right, with that, it's time to testify. All right, the plot of this episode is a legal secretary is accused of killing her boss who had an affair with her daughter. Okay, before we dive in here, let's just start right now. This plot was a little bit shocking. I wouldn't think it would be so risque. It seems like it wouldn't be a plot for an episode of Matlock. What do you think, Jake?
I don't think it's risque. Now, maybe if like the mom was dating him and then had the affair with the stepdaughter, then maybe. But there was no like shenanigans in that sense. So I mean, it's to me, it wasn't that like shocking.
It was for me 17% shocking. I'll just leave it at that. Let's go to the opening scene. The opening scene is a bunch of paintings of a mother and daughters. Where'd they find this stuff from? It was like from the Renaissance era. I'm like, what? How does this depict a modern mother and daughter relationship? But we go to a scene of the Atlanta skyline, and then we cut to a bar where Andrea and Frank are sitting there having coffee, it looks like. And they're chatting about court cases. And Andrea's hoping that Frank can land her a clerking job. And then Andrea wants to meet Frank later that night. And he's like, I got to work. But tomorrow, the next day, we'll hook up. And so we cut to Phyllis. And Phyllis is doing her job at her desk when Frank comes in, and she goes, oh, Ed Jordan's waiting on you. And a big argument starts between Frank and Phyllis because Frank is outraged. He's out. How could you let me forget that? Well, I told you this morning. It's your job to tell me and keep me on track, blah, 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 blah. And then he does the infamous 2 cups of coffee shtick that Jason has lifted for his intro. And so, you know, this guy is, again, one of those that are, of the many that we've had, those over-the-top jerks, jackasses, if you will. Go ahead, Jason. I know you want to say something about old Frank Larson, so go ahead. Hit us with it.
Dude, what a jerk. Like, how a jackass, in the words of Benjamin Matlock. How does she still have this job? I don't understand. There's got to be other better paying jobs. She seems like a fantastic secretary.
Well, she says,
like, why does she work for this guy?
Well, but then she goes to get the coffee and she talks to that coworker, and she's like, I'm too old. I'm in my 50s. And I guess maybe not really thinking about it in the 90s that probably might be seen as being old. I think today, in today's society, 50 is not old at all. I mean,
we don't want it to be old, John. We're getting there. No. 50 is
yeah.
young. I mean, 50 is the new 20, right, John?
You got it, man. You got it, because I'm a lot closer than you are. But yeah,
John and I are still doing push-ups with our fingers, not our hands, our fingers. Like yeah. Got you.
Yeah, that's the
one-handed
workout we're doing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. One-handed. I guess we need these type of villains to appreciate the heroes, but yeah, I did write down though that Philip said that she wishes that Frank was dead, and that she also felt trapped like a rat in a cage. And then I started immediately singing the Smashing Pumpkins. Despite all my rage, I am still just a rat in a cage. There you go. There's some musical stylings of yours truly. Justin is appalled. He is absolutely appalled.
He is.
All right. Anyways, so Angie arrives at Frank's office. Guess what? She catches him with another woman. Mm-hmm. And that other woman and him get on the elevator, and they allude to that there might be a little, as Aerosmith would say, love in an elevator. You know what I'm saying, right?
I do.
Well, when Frank returns, Andrea confronts him. They have a huge fight. What about the job you promised me? I can't go to that firm and tell them, hey, the woman I've been sleeping with wants a job. And then she gets mad. Oh, you can't dump me. Nobody dumps me. And she whacks him in the head with a bookend. And that does it for Frank. Now, I do have this question, though. Number one strike with that, to me, that seemed like some weak sauce. Like, I think you would have had to hit him multiple times to kill him. I don't see where that one bookend right to the back of the head, I don't think that would kill somebody. What say you?
I don't think so either. Maybe she just hit him in the right spot.
Maybe what Andrew should have done is she should have activated Skynet and then, sorry, that's Linda Hamilton. My bad.
Murder's wrong, folks, but this guy needed to be knocked on the head.
Oh, I think this is a first. Have you ever wished death upon a character?
I didn't wish death. I said murder is wrong, but he did deserve to get hit in the head. I mean, I don't think it should have killed him either, but he did deserve a bonk on the head. Maybe some amnesia. Remember, you seen the movie Regarding Henry? He started off as a jackass. Well, he got shot in the head, got amnesia, and then became a nice guy. But I don't wish that on him. But maybe a little bonk, and maybe he would have woken up as a nice guy. But unfortunately, he died.
Well, and then Justin reminded us that, of course, love in an elevator is better than love on an escalator. makes me want to not go into the mall rats. That kid is on the escalator. Folks at home, if you don't know mall rats, you can Google that later. So we go to Phyllis's house, and Andrea comes home, and she spills the beans about the affair and the murder. And so I guess it's answered a little bit later on, because I wrote down in my notes, why would Andrea have this relationship with Frank? I wrote down that Andrea probably has some daddy issues, which I think later come up in the episode. But overall, I got to be honest, I think this was a really well done scene. I thought the acting was good. The angst and the upset nature of Phyllis was great. The emotions that were emitted from Andrea were great. I like this scene overall.
I agree.
Well, Phyllis decides that she is going to go clean up the crime scene after Andrea and her, kind of create this alibi for her. She was at home studying, ordered a pizza, blah, 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 blah. So we cut to police headquarters where Phyllis is meeting with Ben, and they're just running down the facts of the case. Phyllis admitted she was there in the office because of the spat that they had earlier in the day. She wanted to apologize. When she got there was somebody already in Frank's office. They were arguing, they were talking, and she left. Then she came back a little while later, and that's when she finds Frank dead, and she's freaked out. She leaves. So Ben decides to take the case, and so he goes to Frank's office, and this is where we find out from Detective Bob Brooks that the bookend is MIA, that there's only one, there should be two. Now, this I felt to be irresponsible on Ben Matlock's behavior. Did you catch him taking a finger, an ungloved finger, and running it in the blood of Frank Larson's that is on the desk?
I missed that. And I watched this episode twice. And because I watched it on Monday, and then I watched it again today just to make sure I didn't miss anything or forget anything. But no, I got to watch the third time apparently because I missed that. They do ungloved stuff in the crime scenes all the time in 80s and 90s television. But
I was like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Can't believe you. Well, then we cut to a scene after Bob Brooks tells Ben he's got to get all of his evidence because the wife Frank wants the office cleared out. And so we go to a scene where Ben is arriving at the house, the home of Mr. and Mrs. Larson. And here she's got movers. She's moving all the stuff out. And we find out she was having affairs. He was having an affair. It was like marriage just to be married, I guess, or for some business purpose or whatnot.
There are people out there, man, these are not those people, but there are people out there that they love their spouses, but yet they still have a deal where they can do stuff on the side. That's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I believe that's referred to as an open marriage, by the way. So we get a little bit of juvenile Ben, by the way. Did you catch when he was like, are these affairs business or personal? Mm-hmm. 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 He got a little giggly. He's
very curious about the life of somebody that's had an affair. I wonder where that comes from. And I don't know where we're at in the episode as far as this happening, but he actually mentions that one of his children for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
3 seasons.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's next. Frank's wife, her alibi, she was playing tennis and actually had dinner, and it checks out, actually, because in the next scene, Conrad shows up at the office to tell Michelle it checks out. And now we get the 3 A's of how women get gentlemen to pay attention to them. Thank you, Michelle Thomas, for this little bit of comedy gold, because this is awesome. I shall refer to this as the bet, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, Conrad bets Michelle that she could do all her flirtiness and Ben will never notice. He'll never know. He's oblivious to it all. That he'll shine his shoes and scratch his back against the wall. He's oblivious to it all. First off, I'd like to say this is clearly stuff you could not get away with in 2024, because this seems like this type of a bet, these types of behavior would get you right in HR like that. Yeah. So, yeah. Basically, $50, which, by the way, if you're curious, because I looked it up, $50 in 1990 is the equivalent of $115 today. So for $50, the bet is on that Michelle thinks she can make Ben crack. Conrad's like, ain't no way. What did you think about the bet, Jason?
It's silly fun. As long as Michelle's okay with it, which she is, it plays out pretty funny, I think, in this episode.
Whoever came up with this idea was pretty smart, by the way. I do got to give you, I don't know which one of the writers came up with this idea, but this was a pretty good idea, I got to say. So Ben goes to meet Phyllis to talk to her real quick about, that it might be a ex-lover that may have caused the death of Frank. And Phyllis introduces Andrea to Ben, and this is where Ben talks about his daughter in Philadelphia, who is a lawyer. First time in a while we've heard about the kids. And Ben is going to go check the phone logs because he thinks, again, he's got this theory about the lovers calling in to the office. I felt that Andrea did not do a very good job here with her alibi. In fact, I would say that this might have been a little bit of showing your cards, if you will, if you were Andrea. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. We're moving on to the first instance of the bet. Ben is shining his shoes while Michelle comes over with her perfume that she had just sprayed on. She comes over, and they talk, and she's leaning very close to him. And what does Ben do? Something smells in here. I'm sure that's exactly what any woman wants to be told, is that their perfume makes them smell.
Yeah, not a smooth move is all I'm saying.
No, and then he even goes further as to saying, oh, I know what it is. The exterminator was here yesterday. Good gosh, man. Our next scene is that Conrad and Ben check out Frank's love nest, and they find takeout bags from DiMattio's restaurant. So they go to DiMattio's, and the bartender there is like, oh, yeah, Frank's in here all the time. He's got some new blonde that's in here with him. I didn't know that he would like this type of woman because she's in law school. She's smart, blah, blah, blah. And so Ben and Conrad set up Andrea to be positively ID'd at a restaurant by the bartender. And the bartender said, of course, yep, that's the blonde I've been seeing on the arm of Frank. And, I did skip this real quick. Ben gives her a copy of Black's Law Dictionary. I wonder if that's a real thing.
Maybe. I don't know. But we have a comment in the comments section. Justin, if you want to pull it up on the screen, it's my buddy from Whatnot Digital Express Media. Dude, thank you so much for jumping in. I appreciate your support.
Thanks, man.
Talking Matlock. If you got a grandmother, please recommend the show to her.
Or grandfather. We don't want to exclude genders now. Come on.
Or you know anybody who works in nursing homes, please pass this tape around. John and I would like to get more exposure.
That's right.
We got free pudding to anybody that's listening that would like some.
Pudding. Wait. I think we have yet to talk about the culinary desires of one Ben Matlock for this episode. You wait. All right. So Ms. Hawkins is cleaning Ben's home, and this is where bet number 2 falls into play. Michelle comes in a very elegant black dress, and she goes over. They're talking about, hey, Andrew was having an affair with Frank. And then the little runway walk, right? The little wiggle, if you will, from Michelle. And then walks back with the same little wiggle. And Ben's like, oh, let's do that again. And then he quotes something that's so ridiculous. I don't even remember what it was from. I think it was from I Love Lucy, where he goes, oh, you got a little hitch in your get along. Got a little hitch in your get along. And goes and scratches his back against the wall. The first part of bet number 2 is ruined. So far, this is not working out for Michelle. So Michelle says, let's go to lunch. Let's go al fresco. All right, which Ben doesn't know what that is. So she explains it's just eating outside.
Does she think that Ben is going to suddenly think that she's showing interest in him? Because isn't she like half his age? I don't think Ben would even register that as a possibility. And what was she going to do if Ben was into her? Like,
I know!
This entire time leading this poor older man along. It's kind of messed up, Michelle.
That's why I said in my notes I have, again, this bet equals canceled in 2024. Yeah, because, yeah, you're absolutely right on all of those. And here's the other thing. You knew that you were going to eat outside, and you knew that there was a good chance you were going to a hot dog cart, which you did.
Yeah.
Which makes me also wonder, I wonder in real life, who really liked hot dogs, right? Like, I'm sure Andy Griffith loved them. But, I mean, who of the guests or the supporting cast, I could just picture, like, somebody, like, for an example, Nancy Stafford on this episode showing up going, I got to eat hot dogs? I hate hot dogs. Like, I want to know.
Hot dogs. I mean, I think now we're getting more into the hot dogs are gross because people are realizing what they're made out of. I still love hot dogs. But back in the 80s, man, everybody was eating hot dogs. Nobody cared in the 80s.
Nitrates.
We'll worry about those man. Later. That came out of that time area. So, I mean, yeah, nobody cared.
Matlock wants those buns. Ben's hot dog
pink
cart.
slime was still the go-to meat in school. So I grew up on pink slime, John. It turned out just fine.
Yeah, okay. All right. Do we have another comment?
We do, man. My whatnot friends are showing up in droves. What's up, Sriracha? Thank you so much, buddy. Yes, absolutely.
Mr. Sriracha, thank you again. That sounds like a wrestling name. Like that seems like a luchador name. You know, Mr. Sriracha. I'm the wrestling nerd here. What can I say? Well, Ben confronts Phyllis about Andrea's affair. He's like, look, the gig is up. And this one, I thought this was weird. She begs him not to bring it up and says that she'll have to fire him. But you're the one that needs Ben. Ben doesn't really need you, Phyllis.
I knew the second she told him that he wasn't going to listen. He'd find a loophole around it.
Oh.
Because Ben is like the only honest defense lawyer in America.
Wow. The opinions of Jason Taylor and solely Jason Taylor do not reflect John saying, Orlando.
Like, most of them are going to represent their client the way their client wants to be represented. They're not going to go against their client. If their client wishes to not explore this, they're not going to explore it. They're going to find other ways to get the client off, but not Ben because he believes in doing the right thing. And if that daughter deserves to be in prison, Jason gets to, hey, you could try. That's all I'm saying. You can try. You'll get a couple Blu-rays from me, some nice DVDs, maybe.
You know, they're eyeing that Perry Mason disc set. You know that.
Maybe. My Columbo set. You can't have that. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, we go to the courtroom where Julie is questioning a witness, and basically it's that lady that witnessed the argument from the office the other day. Basically, Ben and Andrea, they discuss her affair with Frank, and they're discussing it out in the hallway when Michelle walks up and goes, hey, Ben, I need to talk to you. Julie thinks that she's found the evidence, like she wants the evidence, and we think we might be able to get it.
And plus, Ben is dating Julie. Like, you think flirting with Ben is going to work? He's been kind of dating Julie since season 2, and he hasn't pulled the trigger on that. So where do you think Ben is just going to suddenly like shift to Michelle? I don't get it.
Oh, we have really deconstructed this plot, haven't we? We certainly have. All right. Well, here we go. Let's get all. You know what this episode is missing? You know what this is missing, Jason? This is missing a little Mission Impossible theme. You know. A little Ethan Hawke. All right, that's what we're missing. We cut to a scene where Andrea pulls up to an alley, starts going through the dumpsters looking for the other bookend that supposedly is being sought after by Detective Bob Brooks. All right, so this homeless woman comes up and is like, I got it right here. You want it. $50, right? In which Andrew's already paid her $20 just to find this thing, or supposedly find this thing. What do we know? Money is exchanged hands. Andrea leaves, and the homeless woman was Michelle Thomas in disguise.
Oh, good. I like that. That was a good little sting operation.
I swore like it was Ms. Hawkins, because they mentioned Ms. Hawkins. She was in the episode earlier, and she's an older woman, and I thought, oh, it's Ms. Hawkins doing some double duty, you know? And no, it's with the fake nose and the wig and the whole 9 yards. It was super spy time, I guess.
Have we seen Miss Hawkins before? Have we known that Ben's had a housekeeper this whole time?
Yeah, she's been in like at least 2 episodes in the last couple. She's not a constant recurring character.
Okay, I don't remember seeing her once.
All right. So the bookend, by the way, that was purchased by Andrea was basically it's a duplicate. So it's not the original one. So sorry, folks. We just got a note from Justin for some glitches, if you will. So let's go back to the courtroom. We're in the hallway. Andrea and Ben, they exchange some information and try to get prepped for her testimony. Ben reveals that the jury might not find her mother to be innocent. And then Ben pitches the job angle to the affair. All of this, I think, is just to rattle Andrea. I think all of this was just in that aspect, just to get her off kilter. Andrea's on the stand. She talks about the arguments that Phyllis and Frank had. She gives her her alibi, but she states that she ate on campus, that's a fumble, Andrea, because that's not what you said. You said originally you had pizza, and the pizza delivery guy, by the way, is in the courtroom. He can't identify Andrea, nor can she identify him. Uh-oh. So Phillips just erupts in like, I did it, I'm guilty, I did it, blah, 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 blah. And Ben tries to get her to stop. She tries to get Ben to stop, but Ben continues to unravel Andrea's alibi, and there's chaos. There's chaos in the courtroom. Phillips claims that she is guilty. And finally, after Phyllis admits to it, Andrea cracks and gives it all up. What do you think, Jason?
I'm not testifying or giving my closing statement yet.
Okay.
So I will hold off.
Okay. So we cut to the outside in the hallway where Conrad wants his money, but Michelle says, not till the end of the day. And so Ben comes out and says, hey, Michelle, are you busy tonight? No, Ben. No, why do you ask? Well, I have tickets to the opera that I was giving. Wow, that was a lengthy one. Anyways.
Yeah, no, that was a bot. I'm sorry, Justin. I didn't mean to click on that. Producer Justin's going ape shit in the background. See? Sneak peek.
Anyways, but you know what? I'm going to just give you the tickets. Ben, she thought Ben was going to ask her out on a date, but Ben was like, here's the tickets. You can just have the tickets. And then, in what was hilarious, the closing scene is Ben says to Conrad, has Michelle been acting a little weird? Maybe we need to find her a man. And then Conrad goes, oh, she's got it taken care of with the 3 A's. And that, my friends, is the episode, The Mother. So, Jason, you got anything you want to discuss here? You want to get to it. You want to get to the, okay. You know what? I can't, he's holding it in. I got to, ladies and gentlemen, I got to say, let's get to our closing statements.
This is the part of the podcast where John and I will rate the show on a gavel system. 1 gavel means we absolutely hated it. 5 gavels means it was absolutely amazing. -37 gavels means that I am retiring from life. I'm moving to Florida in a van and going to live down by the river. John, how many gavels do you rate this episode?
I give it 4 gavels. I liked the bet. I thought the acting was good, especially between Phillips and Andrea. The comedy that was laced within the bet was great. My only gripe that I have is, as we talked about at the beginning, you hear your mother whine and complain and argue with this dude, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have sex with him. Like,
well, that's her boss. Not me. I actually do love my boss, but a lot of people complain about their bosses, and their bosses might be lovely people outside of work, because most bosses are not usually somebody that you can be like buddy with. But so she's probably just like, my mom just complaining about this guy. He's nice to me. He would never do that to me until they do it to them, and then they're angry.
Yeah. There's a lot of doing it, by the way, between Andrea and Frank, but I digress. Okay, well that's it, but I still give it a solid 4. What say you?
I give it a 4.5. I also really like this episode. It was a lot of fun, a great kickoff to the season 5 premiere. I liked it. We're continuing the trend of season 4 a little bit better because we have everybody in the episode working off each other the way I personally like this show to be. And in these chats, I have a lot of issues trying to find out, like, why people love the first 2 seasons so much, because those are the episodes everybody chats about. When seasons 4 and 5 of Matlock, so far, 5, I'm one episode in, 3 and 4, I'll say, have been just so much better as far as writing, story, so on and so forth. So I don't get it, but this is another strong one.
Yeah, agreed with you 100%. Justin, do we have any comments?
We do, man. Another one from my Whatnot group. Guys, thank you so much. This Discord is coming through for us tonight, John. Thank you guys so much for the support. Please hit that like button. I appreciate it. I love all of you guys. It's fantastic.
Is that Spatial Tests? Is that the handle there? Was that the handle? All right.
I think so.
Yeah, Jamie, thank you as well. Both Spatial Tests and Jamie, thank you for checking out the show. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah, Jamie, you're wrong, but I do respect you tuning in. I'm just kidding. I've never seen an episode. I've seen one episode of the Andy Griffith Show. I need to fix that.
I was going to say I'm going to agree with Jamie. I'm going to agree that Andy Taylor is greater than Ben Matlock. But
Ben Matlock is pretty much just Andy Taylor grown up.
That's
from my experience with the Andy Griffith Show.
As long as you're not talking about naughty stuff, because then we revert back to immature Ben. Anyways, all right. Well, so 4.5 and 4, we're pretty close there. Jason, let's talk about the Three Geeks podcast, man. You were off obviously Saturday because you were in Indianapolis doing the Indiana Comic Book Convention, but normally, what can folks expect on a Saturday night if they tune in to the Three Geeks podcast?
We've got a lot to catch up on this Saturday. We have a Dune 2 spoiler review that we're going to be doing. Obviously, I'm going to come with a Ghostbusters review with Max. X-Men 97 drop. We got to talk about that. We're going to be listing our favorite X-Men characters, our dream team, if you will, our top 5 characters from the X-Men universe, and just so much more. And guys, if you're an animation fan or even a fan of the X-Men series in the 90s, watch X-Men 97. It literally picks up right where the last one left off. It's like no time has passed and you're right back in that world. You know, the animation is slightly different, but it's the same. Like, it's a little bit brighter, but it's the same style animation. The voice actors all do a great job. But we're going to be talking about that this Saturday at 7 p.m. live. And, you know, I post shorts every day, and it's fun. Come hang out with us. Come say hi.
There you go. Three Geeks podcast on all the social medias, and that's where you can find them. And
at 3geeksj, if you want to come check me out on Instagram, say hello. I get a lot of DMs from Matlock fans, and I love it.
Well, as for me, you can find me, of course, at PVD MVP. That's my Twitter handle, X handle, whatever you want to call it. That's my personal Twitter account. But let's talk about the PVD cast, which is my own personal podcasting project. This week, I have Gerald Glassford on as a guest. He is a talented podcaster out of Las Vegas. He and I sit down. We're great wrestling pals. We sit down and we talk about our favorite wrestling matches of all time. There's some from all different eras featuring all different superstars. We even justify why we like them so much. So check it out at pvdcast.com or wherever you find great podcasts. All right, Jason, with that, should we head on out here before we get yelled at because we haven't delivered that coffee? Two mugs. Clean.
Like, comment, subscribe. If you left messages in the chat, leave a comment afterwards. The comments help so much. The chat helps. The likes help. The subscribes help. It all helps. Guys, go check out some of our previous. We've interviewed members of the cast. Go check those out. And that's all I got.
So, as they say in court, nothing further.